What would happen if you took a lawnmower blade and sharpened it within an inch of its life, to be as sharp as a high-quality chef's knife?
It's literally just cut the lawn without the lawnmower spinning. I've invented the world's hardest to push manual mower.
Or failing that, just strapping some chef's knives straight to the lawnmower. I'm wondering because after some mild neglect, my lawn has gotten seriously thick and spongy. According to men on the internet who no longer sleep in the same bed as their wives, otherwise known as lawn care experts, the correct way to fix this is to do what's called a lawn scalp, which is where you put your lawnmower down to the lowest setting that it can go and trim it back to dirt or bare roots. Which is something that I've done at this house and with this lawnmower before, and the lawn comes up looking great, but now that the lawnmower's a fair bit older, it handles it super well.
Which got me thinking, this lawnmower is only a cheapie. It's the most expensive cheap one that I could get, and it worked great for about 2 or 3 years, but now I think it's just getting a little bit too tired. So I started thinking, what's something else that I could do, because I can't afford to replace this. Well, maybe I could give it a pretty big helping hand by sharpening the blades, because lately I've actually gotten really good at sharpening tools and knives, so why not try and give that a go to the lawnmower? Now, lawnmowers, you're only meant, better put the knife down, a bit threatening. What is this, bloody Mowing train station? Now, lawnmower blades, you only need to sharpen to be about as sharp as a butter knife to get them to work, but what if we take them to full sushi knife? See how that goes, and then failing that, well, maybe we just take a couple zip ties and just get that sorted the old-fashioned way. And if you're a long-term viewer of the channel, you might also be wondering, Ryan, don't you own like 10 grand worth of robot lawnmowers? And yes, I do, but this one at the moment, I'm waiting on a replacement charger to get sent out because the charger blew up. And this one, it had a redback spider living in it. And then also I changed the borders of where my garden beds are. And then now I need to remap where those borders are. And that 10 minutes of admin work, I couldn't be bothered doing. And now I've let my grass get too thick that I don't think that lawnmower would really handle it, or if it did, it'd blunt the blades pretty quick. So I've kind of got to take care of it first, and then I can hand the jobs back to the robot lawnmowers. Or Cheech and Chong as I call them. And I call them that because they go through a whole lot of grass. If you really are sick of mowing your lawn altogether, you should consider getting one of these robot lawnmowers, because right now they're about 40% off the full price on AliExpress.
Who is sponsoring this video.
I do have a full video on this. Basically, you map out your whole yard once and then you just set it to schedule, or whenever you want it to start it, you just start. It goes off and mows completely autonomously. If you manage to leave out something, or more likely your kids, leave something out in your yard, it will just mow around that. It works great for that. And it runs super duper whisper quiet. Another one of my favorite products I've just gotten from AliExpress is one of these compressed air blowers that's battery powered. It's meant to be a replacement for those compressed air cans.
These are meant to be used for cleaning keyboards and car interiors, but mine just lives in my shed to clean all my worktops.
I also love taking it camping because you can use it to stoke fires. It comes with different attachments, so you can use it to blow up inflatable mattresses, and it's actually a power bank. Or clean up your spaghetti mess of chargers with this 65-watt charging station that comes with 6 ports, and being 65 watts across all ports, that means that it can super fast charge your phone and also laptops like MacBooks. I'll put links in the description for all these products in case you want to check them out, and if you join my Cashback challenge team, you can get up to 10% cashback on anything you purchase. And I'll also chuck a couple of extra sneaky vouchers in the description for you to use as well. What's really funny with the AliExpress sponsorship is they keep trying to offering to send me products, and then I keep having to say, like, I've already got one. Like, I really do spend so much on AliExpress. Back to making irresponsible decisions.
I start by removing the batteries from the lawnmower to lower my chance of losing a digit, because I'm determined to get through at least one of these videos without slicing open my finger. Without spoiling anything though, that's not gonna be this video. If you're on a rotary lawnmower like this and you've never sharpened your blades before, you should. It's really easy. Just use some sort of a power tool though. Hand filing them sucks. This is what we're starting with though, super blunt. And my lawnmower gets this way because I use it to mulch my hedges when I trim them. The first step is going to be buying the cheapest benchtop grinder on Facebook Marketplace. And I use that to try and reshape the blade back into be something remotely blade shaped, because right now it's looking a bit more like a serrated blade. I'm trying to make a chef's knife here, not a steak knife. Although, I wonder if I made a steak knife version, if I could sell it to that Salt Bay guy. Is he still around? Oh, it looks like all of his restaurants shut. I guess as it turns out, building a business based on selling $1,000 steaks isn't that sustainable. Especially when you don't have the cost savings of a robotic rotary steak knife. After an hour of grinding away, the edges were looking so much better. This is already going to be the sharpest lawnmower blade you've ever used, but these big gouges are going to be unacceptable for trying to compare this to a proper chef's knife. The only way to get rid of them properly is to grind all the way to the back of the deepest gouge, which is by far what took the longest in this project. Especially because the entire time while you're grinding it, the blade is heating up, which doesn't sound too bad, but if you let it get above about 220 degrees Celsius, which it can do really quickly, the blade will lose its temper, or whatever temper a lawnmower blade has, which means the steel will get too soft to hold a proper knife edge. So, about every 20 seconds or so, I need to dip this bad boy into a bucket of water to cool it off.
The last few times I've done metalworking stuff, I've gotten a whole bunch of comments talking about how badly I respect safety when using power tools. Look, kind of fair enough. So I've had this one brand, Camelo, send out a few things, including this proper, legit, like blacksmithing and welding apron. And the only reason I'm talking about this is because of how funny and niche it is that it has like a magnetic strip for, I guess, putting like screws or nails or whatever on. But it also just so happens that it means that my microphone sticks perfectly to my apron because this has a magnetic thing. How fun is that? I'll put a link in the description for them. Alright, it does now occur to me that I am a good, I don't know, I've done most of the grinding for this. That famously a couple months ago my state made machetes illegal, and what I'm making is essentially just the Darth Maul double-sided machete. Some Eshe pops out behind the train station and goes, "No, give me your shoes, mate." And you pop out one of these and you go, "Ah!" It is definitely like the Finger Lopper 5000 right now. So how sharp this is right now is beyond the recommended sharpness that you need to take lawnmowers to. This is as sharp as you would realistically ever sharpen a lawnmower, and this would also be the bluntest kitchen knife you've ever. All right, maybe not you, if you're lazy. It would be a very blunt kitchen knife. Definitely sharper than a butter knife, but like in terms of a chef's knife, it wouldn't do much. I got a lemon so that we can actually see. Blunt, but not sharp, in the realm of sharpness. But let's take it to actually being sharp. Cutting that lemon is so unfair because I've actually got gastritis at the moment, so I'm not allowed to eat anything acidic or spicy. So I'm not allowed to eat definitely lemons and even like tomatoes and stuff. And it's right at the end of tomato season. I miss them. This is my diamond knife sharpening device that we're going to be using for trying to sharpen this blade to like chef's knife sharpness. You might recognize it from the channel before because I reviewed this in the AliExpress product review video, and this is one of the absolute winners. It's like 40 bucks and it sharpens to an incredible quality. Right, for those of you wondering, the mounts for this are actually big enough for a lawnmower blade.
I'm using this fancy knife sharpener jig, but really all it's doing, holding the sharpening stone at an exact angle that's consistent the whole time. The coarsest grit that I have in my set is 400 grit, which is probably a little bit high to be starting with, but because they are diamond stone, it still was getting through the steel really quickly. Because I was just eyeballing the angles when I was on the grinder, this step did take a good hour because now that it's being held at a proper 20-degree angle, I'm using this to basically fix all of my grinding mistakes. But this was pretty smooth sailing, just a little bit monotonous. Oh, except for one thing. Let's rewind a little bit. Because there's a problem I've been dealing with this whole time but haven't told you about until now. Lawnmower blades are not flat. They use curves on the back of the blade to suck grass up, and then these raised sections to further mulch it, so that if you cut long grass, it doesn't just immediately clog your machine. But these raised sections have been a pain in the ass the whole time. They don't fit around the grinding wheel, so I just had to do my best effort. So I managed to get these to dull knife sharp, but now there's definitely no way that I could sharpen these on this jig. So that's fine, I'll just sharpen the actual blades. Except for the raised sections are in the way of the jig.
Because as you're polishing, once you hit this little slope over here, where it wants to skid up, you're then sharpening with just the corner on here, and it's not quite as good as being flat.
So keeping a consistent angle has been a nightmare, and I accidentally keep using the corners of the sharpening stone, which are just creating these micro gouges along the blade, which I then have to go back over and like re-polish out. But after overcoming that and spending a good hour with the 400 grit, it's starting to come up pretty good.
So the 400 grit's done, which I think makes this officially a knife now. Like this is now probably what your slightly blunt store-bought knives are at. I guess we could cut another lemon. I mean, like, this is getting... okay, this is kind of getting into machete territory. It's like those, the Chinese vegetable knives.
After being done with the lemon party, it was finally time to move up through the polishing grits.
Which should now be really quick. The 400's definitely taken all of the brunt of doing this. So I suspect the 400, after this project, I'll probably get about a third of the lifetime use out of compared to everything else. Because everything else should now go really quick, based on my previous experience of using this. And in real time, that's how long knife edge sharpening takes when it's not a when it's not a lawnmower blade.
With each blade edge only taking about 20 seconds, the full time to now polish this up to be razor sharp was only about 15 minutes, or at least it would have been if I didn't choose to come back out the next morning to refix one of the blades because it has a bit of a gouge in it. It took another hour and a half, but I mean, after that, it was pretty good. But I did learn something about my jig while I was going back through fixing the blade.
So I had for a good 10 hours of use of this thing, and that's not on this project. This project, I don't know, it's a couple hours or whatever. But just after a lot of knife sharpening, and also if you watch my initial review of this, you would know the one thing that I hate about it is how every time you want to flip the knife around, you need to unscrew it and rescrew it back in. And like, I mean, that's kind of fine. I just found out that it has this like spring locking spinning mechanism thing that lets you just go polish, 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 flip around to the other side, polish, polish, polish. God, God damn it, that would have saved me so much time. Oh my goodness. While I was doing that, I nearly bloody cut my finger off because I was leaning on here, putting pressure on, hold it steady, and then just whack. And I've ended up with a tiny little cut on my finger, so it's at least sharp enough to, with light pressure, slice my finger. But I'm just trying to fix up this one edge, then we're gonna go to the full 3000 grit, and that should be proper, like paper slicing, arm shaving, and then we'll see what this is gonna do to maybe not only the grass, but some other things.
One last quick trip with a 3000 grit, then with the leather strop, then she's finally ready to come off the jig, ready for a maiden voyage.
Alrighty, first, paper test. And this paper's a little bit damp, so it's probably even a harder test than normal. Alright, that's nice and very sharp. It's just the nicks that's letting it down on that test. You know what sure would be a damn shame is if I went to all this trouble and then completely forgot to charge any of my batteries. Sure is a good thing that didn't happen. I definitely won't see you in a couple hours. So now it's on the lawnmower. One question that I have is, if I get this spinning up and I take a sheet of paper and slowly insert it into it, if I'm just gonna get a whole bunch of like shing, 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 shing like slices. Because that's something you can do with real mowers, but you can't with rotary, which is what this is. So we'll give it a go before we actually do some real mowing with it. You do. You definitely do, but in hindsight, a normal lawnmower would also do that. As soon as it started just cutting it, and I mean, like, the cuts are pretty clean. As soon as it started doing it, I realized this doesn't prove anything. All right, let's try and mow some really dense and wet today grass, really thick, like thatchy stuff, which this lawnmower was really struggling with, and it's also going to be on some slightly down battery power. So if it cuts through this, then it might actually be a little bit of a worthwhile thing when trying to scalp your lawn. Feed the leftover paper to the worm farm. Oi, stop escaping to the worm farm. Oh my goodness, boys, get back in there, you bastards.
While setting up for the next test, I found something that I really didn't expect.
Check this out. This is so interesting. I was just pushing the lawnmower over to where I was going to do the test, which is over there. The lawnmower's here, but as I was dragging it with it not on, Look at this. It was actually just like the blade scraping along the top. It has almost like a scythe just been cutting the grass. It looks very like torn, almost like it's been cut with an unsharp grass blade. But oh my goodness, like it's literally just cut the lawn without the lawnmower spinning. I've invented the world's hardest to push manual mower. I call it the scythe. Oh my God. It cuts so unevenly. Look at the path. It shows up on camera, but it's come like along here. But because the actual sharp bit of the blade's only that long and it's not spinning, it's just going like slice, 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 slice. They're perfect. You can order them now on culinarygarden.com.au. For parts, time and labor, I think I could sell them for about $2,000 or $3,000 each. Very eco-friendly. Technically, because you're powering it, and if you just eat stuff from your vegetable garden, it's technically a vegetable garden powered lawnmower. All right, let's do some actual gardening. Stop pissing about.
For the first test, I'm going to put my lawnmower on the lowest setting and see how it handles my very thick grass. Just a reminder, this is how my mower handled it with blunt blades. Well, it's doing a much better job, but if I'm being honest, it's not really anything to write home about when it comes to this thicker stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's gone from not cutting it at all to doing a decent job, but it's not exactly gliding across the turf like I would expect something this sharp to be able to do. Well, how does it go with cutting actual bladed grass, not just scalping?
Oh yeah, definitely. It does not make it any easier, but I mean, it looks like a really high quality cut. It's like one done with a robot lawnmower or cylindrical mower, because robot lawnmower is cut with like razor blades. You don't get any of that sort of tear off. It's a nice clean cut and everything. It's very uniform. It's just a high quality cut, but there's just like no difference between this and just a normal butter knife sharpened lawnmower blade. It really is so impressive how little of a difference ultra sharp makes. So is ultra sharpening, hello Suki. So is ultra sharpening your lawnmower blades worth it? I think what this has proven is exactly why the recommended sharpness level of a lawnmower blade is only about as sharp as a butter knife, because between a freshly butter knife sharpened blade and this one actually mowing, I don't really notice a difference. If I'm gonna be honest, it's probably 5 to 10%, if that. If you're planning on doing a gigantic, like entire yard scalp, which I was planning on doing when I first did this video, but then I had a baby, so when I shot the first half of this video, and now it's actually been about 6 weeks, and now it's probably too late in the year to do a lawn scalp. So if you're doing it before then maybe it's worth it. Maybe you would actually save yourself the tiniest bit of elbow grease. But even then, it's super marginal. It definitely would not be better than just having a more powerful lawnmower, or like renting a more like commercial lawnmower for the project. Thank you so much for watching a little fun different video. We'll get back to more normal veggie gardening stuff next week. I'm now back from my mini little parental leave break, so I'm going to be producing more videos regularly. Thank you so much to AliExpress for sponsoring this video. Remember to head there, use my link in the description. Tons of promos, you get cashback, you can join my own team. Check out this video here if you want to see more from me. Remember to click subscribe, give a big thumbs up to the video. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.